fluid. Listen only next Sunday on ESPN2 and streaming live on the ESPN app.
Let's face it, binge-watching TV shows doesn't even come close. We don't have ticker tape parades for season finales. Now this is real action. More emotion. Unscripted drama. You make an hour look like seconds. And a second.
By Dos Equis.
Well, Kyle Kuzma has been sharp since the restart. Gets a little separation. Aggressive as a scorer. He's got 7. OG Anunoby, you called him a wild card. I'd say he's got 7 and off to a good start.
Ooh. Okay.
The chase for the Stanley Cup begins. Two talented Canadian squads meet in Edmonton for a best-of-5 play-in series. Calgary is desperate for a taste of playoff success after an early exit last season. But they get a tough draw in Winnipeg and star goalkeeper Connor Hellebuck. Jets, Flames, today on ESPN.
Let's face it, binge-watching TV shows doesn't even come close. We don't have ticker
Hello
tape
po sa 1 million viewers ko dyan. Mega shoutout po. Matamsak naman. Para mabigyan ka ng jacket ni Hose.
Welcome back to the NBA Restart presented by State Farm here with Lakers coach Frank Vogel. Frank, you started out the quarter a little slow. What do you need to do to build on the momentum that you started to gain late in the quarter?
Well, we got to continue to defend. You know, that's our identity. We're at our best when we're getting stops and getting ourselves out on the break. And that's what we saw in the second part of that quarter.
You've said that you have confidence in LeBron James and his ability to turn his play around after he struggled with his shot a little bit last game. What do you need from him tonight?
Well, we need our screeners to get him open better than we're doing. And when that happens, he gets a little airspace, he's going to be just fine.
Thank you so much. Guys.
So Mark, LeBron and Anthony Davis combined for only 3 points in that first quarter. That's the fewest combined in the first quarter in any game played this year by those two men. And to Frank's point, I mean, they're 4th in the league in scoring off their opponent's turnovers, generating almost 19. Like, they need to start to impact Toronto with their defensive ability.
Interesting that they're only down points. The lack of offense from LeBron and Anthony Davis. Dwight Howard going to be whistled for the foul by James Capers. James Capers joined by Brian Forte and Ray Acosta, our officiating crew here tonight.
And just to believe this point, the Clippers have defensive pieces that can make things hard on LeBron. The other team that has defensive pieces that can make things hard on LeBron.
Ball out of bounds, it'll stay in Toronto basketball. And we were talking about Davis's lack of offense. He played all 12 minutes, did not score in the first quarter. That happened for the first time in his career. Dubious distinction as Morris comes up with a steal. Kuzma on the move. And a foul is going to go against OG Anunoby. And Kuzma on the free throw line. Remember, Kyle Kuzma began the season way back in late October. He slowly injured. He had the injured foot that he suffered with USA Basketball. Sprained his foot. Took him a while to really come around.
Hello sa 1 million viewers ko dyan.
Brand new year virtually, and he's
Tamsakan mo naman si Host, guys.
Thing to play on a poor basketball team where you're in desperate need of some scoring and have the freedom to take any shots you want. It's an entirely different thing to play with LeBron James and Anthony Davis in pursuit of an NBA championship, where loose possessions matter, where the habits you build every day matter. And so a lot of this has been an adjustment for Kyle Kuzma.
On the foul on the drive. So explosive, so dynamic. Dion Waiters back at him the other way, and Dion Waiters came out of the box ready to make a contribution to the Los Angeles Lakers. Kyle Lowry fouled on the play. At some point, Avery Bradley in another situation, he opted out of continuing the resumption of the season here. LeBron gets downhill, took the contact, and he can absorb contact and hits. And you heard James Capers say, technical foul.
Well, it just takes OG Anunoby off the bounce. Serge Ibaka. Well, that could have been an and one.
Wow.
Technical foul on Mr. Morris from the Lakers. Was he expecting an and one?
Good. Tell you what, the referees can hear a lot in the absence of 19,000 fans.
We can hear a lot in the absence of 19,000 fans.
Oh, yeah.
You better have a quick trigger on
Ito po sa 1 million viewers ko nandyan.
Wonderful 5-second delay. Powell off the curl. And an Obi into the paint. Finds Norman Powell a little bit strong. And Marc Gasol going to be whistled for coming over the top. When you look at Marc Gasol, he looks noticeably less fleshy than he did before. Lost a lot of weight. Wearing Justice on the back of his jersey. He's a guy that was a big contributor last year in their championship run. A guy that McNurse points out as being one of the leaders along with Kyle Lowry. Dwight Howard throws it away.
I mean, first of all, Kyle Lowry in the lock and trail, sprinting. Marc Gasol talking him through it. Like, the Toronto Raptors have some really good basis, some building blocks in their defense. And this guy, just chasing over the screen, takes effort. What a career
Ito
he's
po
had.
sa 1 million viewers ko nandyan.
About how he had bounced around Memphis, Houston, and had a sit down with Masai when he got there. Masai things he did and they did as we look at the only black president of basketball in the NBA, the architect of the championship last year, Masai Ujiri. 9 minutes to go in the first half. And Lowry drives the foul. Sometimes, Doris, what do you think? It's just about growing up and gaining maturity in Lowry's case?
I think that's part of it, but you know, I was listening to a discussion of our guys on the first telecast this afternoon, and Mark and Jeff were talking about when you are truthful. If you're a player, it may not be easy to hear, but the fact of the matter is they respect it. And what I think about NBA players is, you know, I've always thought young children, you can't feign anything and you can't be disingenuous with them because they sniff that out. I would say it's similar with NBA players. And the best coaches can look you in the eye and tell you the truth. And the best players absorb it. You know, I think back to some series with Tim Duncan when they won that championship after losing to Miami. One really interesting moment where Pop, he comes out of the game, Pop yells at him. He goes to the end of the bench and then finally, you know, kind of pulls himself out of it. You gotta be able to do that. You can handle the adversity, and handling truth is important.
And Lowry had his epiphany here in Toronto with Masai Ujiri, and they teamed up to do great things, historical things for the franchise. LeBron on the wing against Siakam. Danny Green wide open off the kick. Couldn't ask for a better look. Tied at 30, under 8.5 to go in the half. Van Vliet will pull it back out. LeBron on Lowry. Good defense by the Lakers. 3 on the shot clock. Powell has to launch. Good hustle by Kyle Lowry. I tell you, you don't need microphones to hear Kyle Lowry's voice. Folks, Sunday night we'll cap off the first Red Sox-Yankees series of the season at the stadium. This rivalry never so 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN as well as the ESPN app. Just want to see Aaron Judge launch a few, that's all. Tied at 30.
he is something else to watch. If he's up to bat, I'm not leaving.
He was a pretty good basketball player back in California in high school. As Dwight Howard muscles one inside.
Yeah, good finish. Challenged by Mark Gasol. Good job not fouling. Just really good concentration by Dwight.
Well, there's been a great find for Rob Pelinka, the general manager of the Los Angeles Lakers. Signed a non-guaranteed deal. Whistle and a foul going to go against the Raptors. And Mark Gasol was on the bad end of things. There's a look at Rob Pelinka, the Lakers general manager, VP of basketball ops. He signed basically Dwight Howard a deal where Dwight said, hey, listen, you don't even have to guarantee me. I'll earn my way on this deal. And he subsequently, right around January, had his deal guaranteed for the remainder of the season. But Pelinka had gotten wind of the fact that Dwight had gotten himself in fantastic shape in his farm back in the outskirts of Atlanta, Georgia. Gotten his mind right, his body even better. And he add up his numbers for us with JaVale. That's a great center spot for them.
Come on now, with the size they have up front, it also takes Anthony Davis out of the 5 spot until the critical minutes and rotations in a game, which Anthony would like.
Gasol, around Danny Green.
They didn't call it a
They
charge.
should call it a charge.
I'm really surprised by that. I think Nick might challenge this. I think he's going to use a timeout, perhaps do a coach's challenge.
That's going to be the second foul on Gasol.
I thought he avoided on Mark. This was such a good read. He sidesteps him. I don't think that's a charge. I think that's a play on score it.
This is more than a court. This is a stage, a spot, a stump in the public square. This is a place where athletes, driven by dreams and fueled by fans, are going to rewrite history as her story.
Good morning po sa'yo. Hello po, Gypsy. Thanks for coming in my live stream. Salamat po.
Is the time to watch the games.
MLS is back on ESPN.
Iga shout out po sa'yo dyan, Gypsy.
Monday, Kings, Magic, Bucks, Rockets on ESPN.
The chase for the Stanley Cup begins. Two talented Canadian squads meet in Edmonton for a best-of-5 play-in series. Calgary is desperate for a taste of playoff success after an early exit last season. But they get a tough draw in Winnipeg and star goalkeeper Connor Hellebuck. Jets, Flames, today on ESPN.
UFC Fight Night, Lewis versus Ultimate, next Sunday on ESPN
Area coverage provided by Goodyear, celebrating the drive that moves you forward. Goodyear, more driven.
So, this ended up being a good basket. Play on. So it'll be ball taken out of bounds by the Lakers. Good challenge by Nick Nurse.
It was. Tied at 32. 7 minutes to go in the first half. LeBron James with 5 points. He's only taken 4 shots in the game. Matched up against Marc Gasol, and LeBron had it rim out. Nice bounce pass inside, and Anunoby with the flush. Lowry with another great pass.
Because it's challenging in terms of the size for Van Vliet or Lowry, it's not going to impact their bulldog mentality. Keep trying to get by and make plays.
LeBron just bullies his way in. And a foul on the play against the Raptors. Take your pick.
Kyle Lowry has lived his life as an undersized guard. Doesn't mean it hasn't been effective. Get a multi-time All-Star. Good patience right there. Lets his teammate fill the lane. He's going to use his little left arm. I mean, just really good feel. Good job running the floor by his teammate.
That foul was against Pascal Siakam. His first personal foul. Malik, you have more on Kyle Lowry. What's up?
Well, Kyle Lowry is wearing education reform on the back of his jersey, and he said that his children, that is who he's thinking of when he is talking about this, because he has a unique decision to make, he told me. He is weighing sending his children to either a more diverse school, potentially, and having that experience, or sending them to a private school where they may get a better education, but have a lack of diversity. And so he is hoping to a part of the change that his children can benefit from, and is reading a lot of the journalist Nicole Hannah-Jones, who works for the New York Times and specializes on education and race.
I gotta be honest.
You bring up a good point. That is a dilemma that a lot of black folks face in this country when it comes to educating their kids.
Quality of school varying by the quality of your zip code should not happen in this country. There's no more powerful agent for change in society. Education.
I love Lowry's message on the back of his jersey.
Love it. Maybe the only other thing that I love as much is LeBron's and Jason Tatum's push to get the vote right.
They are Canada's team, and you can hear Kyle Lowry all the way up in Toronto, here from Orlando.
Kings, Magic, Bucks, Rockets on ESPN.
Give us the rivalry, the clean shave and the short porch, the beards and the green mom. Give us the catch and the pinstripe, the bloody sock and pine tar helmet. Give us the Red Sox and the Yankees. Give us Sunday Night Baseball, Monday on ESPN2.
Let's face it, binge-watching TV shows doesn't even come close. We don't have ticker tape parades for the season finales. Now this is real action, raw emotion, unscripted drama. You make an hour feel like seconds, and a second feel like hours. This is what we've been missing.
Gising-gising mga kapatid, sugod na.
MLS is back on ESPN.
The chase for the Stanley Cup begins. Two talented Canadian squads meet in Edmonton for a best-of-5 play-in series. Calgary is desperate for a taste of playoff success after an early exit last season. But they get a tough draw in Winnipeg and start star goalkeeper Connor Hellebuck. Jets, Flames, today on ESPN.
There is a world beyond the medals. This is the world of X Games. Go beyond the games. Go beyond the extraordinary. Go inside the world of X Games on ESPN.
We've never seen the game quite like this, and now you can see it too with Michelob Ultra. Get your tickets at ultracourtside.com. One of the great views here from the arena, one of the 3 venues here on the sprawling campus of Disney's Wide World of Sports.
What a start to this game. Kyle Lowry, 11 points, 4 assists, 2 boards. And of course a charge taken because that feels like his signature.
Tied for the league lead in charges taken. Caldwell Pope up front. Anthony Davis has checked into the ball game after sitting out almost half of the second quarter. And Kurt Van Vliet comes over the steal. Caruso takes it back. Caldwell Pope on the drive. Missing with the left hand. Siakam with a mismatch against Caruso. Caruso switches back. Great spin move.
How about that defensive sequence? Mismatch on the post. Caruso battles Pascal and then gets out to cover back.
Lakers team is ranked in the top 5 in both offensive and defensive efficiency. And Anunoby fouls Caruso out top.
But just because you might have a mismatch, you don't stop fighting. So look at him try to get a piece of the basketball. AD, great job to recover and help. And then watch this by Ls Caruso. Excellent feet, staying in front of Kyle Lowry. Just love that kind of effort.
Can put Caruso at the free throw line. Think about where Alex Caruso's career was just 3 years ago. He was in the G League with the OKC organization, the Oklahoma City Blue. He's thought about going overseas at one point because he didn't get a call-up and balled out in the Las Vegas Summer League a couple of seasons ago, a couple of summers ago, and Lakers loved what they saw and signed him to a deal. Makes it a 1-point game.
We touched on this earlier, Mark. The Avery Bradley absence. The pressure applied at the point guard spot. His cutting ability with a passer like LeBron. Now, how significant do you think that loss is?
Yeah. Big. Caruso up court for the Lakers, of course. Alex Caruso played for our colleague Jeff Van Gundy on the USA basketball program a couple of summers ago as they qualified for the World Cup. Howard with the rebound. Quick putback and Dwight scream and spry off his feet. He loves the humid air here of Orlando, where he started off his career and got his Orlando Magic squad to the finals. Siakam from outside, got the friendly roll. Anthony Davis calling for the ball on Siakam. Now steps out to get it. Approaching 3.5 minutes to go. Great hands by Norman Powell. Van Vliet. Siakam with the 3. Anthony Davis in 14 minutes. He's only taken 2 shots. Hasn't scored. Caruso got it. And the Lakers retake the lead, 40-39. Defense by Caldwell Pope on Siakam. Shot clock all the way down to 4 now. They got to get busy. Great contest. And Dwight Howard knocks it out of bounds right at the end of the shot clock.
Well, we talked about the elite defense and the rim protection and all the size.
Davis.
Was vintage. Remember how dominant he was under Stan Van Gundy in Orlando as a defensive player.
But Howard had second thoughts about coming here to Orlando with all the social unrest that was happening, and he even lost a family member, and it was weighing heavily on his heart, but ultimately gave it up to prayer as a guy of faith and decided to come and join his teammates here. Marquise Morris over Lowry. Man, it is rough under there. You hear a lot of yelling and grunting and screaming.
It's interesting to hear. In an era where you think physicality is less important, Frank took over saying he wanted the Lakers to be one of the most physical teams in the NBA.
Sure sounded like it under there. I said yelling and grunting and screaming. Like one of our production meetings. Siakam earns himself a technical foul. That's Anthony Davis' first point of the ballgame. One more look at it here.
Well, he's on the weak side, handling or trying to handle Danny Green.
It looked like they just kind of got locked up. It's never easy to tell who's grabbing who in that situation. I wouldn't want to have to cuddle.
Whose song who? Whose song was that?
Was it Aretha Franklin? You and I are the same demographic. We'll figure it out after the game. Toronto with 6 points on 2 of 5 from the field. After falling down early 13-0, the Lakers have a 2-point lead. 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. Davis with the rebound, got stripped. And an offensive foul against Norman Powell. Man, guys are really hitting the court in this game, Doris.
Well, and I'll say this to you, how many times have we seen guys step in with a guy that's got a full head of steam and been willing to give up their body? Like, good defensive teams are going to do what's required to win. And so Anthony just says, all right, I'm outside the restricted area. I'll take this in my chest. We're going the other way.
On the foul. It's a foul on the play. Davis hits a cutting Caruso. LeBron out top. Davis calls for the lob. And Siakam read it like a great defensive back. You hear LeBron calling out ice. Lowry missing the three, and LeBron with the rebound.
Hello po sa 1 million viewers na nandyan. Mega shoutout po sa'yo. Good morning po. Gypsy from USA. Thanks po sa pagpunta sa aking live stream.
Hits the court. That's Norman Powell. Still shaken up. Heard somebody say he took an elbow in the face. There was right there. As LeBron drove by him, man, they're going to go to the monitor, I believe, and look at this one. James Capers, Brian Forte, and Ray Costa.
Are we doing a possible? Can you hear me? We were doing a possible hostile act.
Well, we can hear you, James, even if the man in front of the plexiglass can't. Possible hostile act, I guess, on the LeBron, get by.
Right here, he hit him in the face.
Oh, come on, that is not a hostile act.
No. It wasn't like the previous game we called earlier today where Steven Adams put his elbow right in the opponent's jaw.
Okay, but
This is not that.
I didn't think that was a hostile act.
Well, you're just really rough like that. It takes a lot with you.
I checked with Chicago. I said, the Rudy Gobert leading with the shoulder was not
Right.
a hostile act. They said, no, that's a post play.
They call foul on the play.
Pa-thumbs up
LeBron
naman
James
dyan.
at the foul line.
Gypsy, bigyan mo naman ng thumbs up si Hughes.
16 points in that game against the Clippers in 16 minutes. He's got only 6 here. But we were speaking with Frank Vogel prior to the game. He is not at all concerned about LeBron's offense or lack thereof right now, knowing that he'll ultimately find his way. He's done it for 16 seasons. Got to hit the button there, James Capers.
We have a common foul on Powell. We do not have a hostile act on the play.
I'm 2 for 2. After failing in the last game, rules-wise, I'm 2 for 2 tonight.
You are on it. As LeBron James is cleared of a hostile act. James back in the foul line.
Mega shout out po dyan sa 1 million viewers ko na nandyan. Good morning po sa'yo, Gypsy.
James now with 7 points in the ball game, and LeBron going with his surname on the back of his jersey.
Load po tayo ng NBA.
One of the NBA approved sayings. Bucket good inside by Ibaka, but if you know LeBron James and the way that he has conducted himself.
Hello po, hello. Good morning.
He lives it. He just doesn't wear it on his jersey if and when he chooses to. Back to his time with the Miami Heat and the murder of Trayvon Martin. He was very supportive of the family and awakened.
The Raptors typically off traps and schemes and things they do. They quickly get out of it. They'll trap and they know when to release them back into their normal rotations. That time, Morris does a great job. If somebody's going to trap you, you've got to be mindful to squeeze out windows and make the appropriate cuts. And Morris...
Thank you po sa patamsak dyan. Tid. Christian Piñaflor, good morning. Okay po, bibigyan na po kita ng iyong jacket. Thank you po sa pagpasok sa aking live stream, kapatid. Ayan na po yung jacket mo, kapatid. Ang ibibigay ko na po. Medyo okay lang po ako, kapatid. Ito, nagsubok akong mag-ilis. So good. Salamat po sa iyo, kapatid. Christian Piñaflor from Team So Good sa pagdalaw sa aking ilis, kapatid. Maraming salamat po.
6-second difference between the shot clock and game clock.
Di kita nakita, bro. Kau na ang bahala. Okay po, salamat po sa iyo. Maraming salamat po sa iyo sa pagpasok sa aking live stream, kapatid na Christian Piñaflor. Salamat po sa pagdikit mo.
That'll do it in a rather low-scoring first half. The Raptors, the reigning champs, trailing the Los Angeles Lakers.
Kau pala yan. Po, ako po ito. Nasa ilis ako. Nasa ilis ko lagi ikaw. Opo, nasa ilis mo ako lagi. Kaya ito po ako, nasubok po akong ilis ngayon. Kaya hindi ako napunta sa'yo. Ilis ka ba mamaya? Punta din ako doon mamaya. Mangingisda ako doon sa ilis mo. Ako po ito. Okay po, salamat po, salamat. Okay po, pag tama-tama po, mamasyal po ako sa inyo mamaya. Oo. Sige, salamat talaga, Christian Piñaflor, sa pagsuporta mo sa aking ilis. magtambay muna ako. Opo, sige, salamat po sa pagtambay. Tambay ka muna dyan. Manood tayo ng hindi live. Salamat po talaga, kapatid.
See Fight Night, Lewis versus Ultimate. It's Sunday on ESPN2 and streaming live on the ESPN app.
Shout out dyan sa 3 milyong viewers ko na nandyan.
Hey fans, Rachel Nichols here. We know that ESPN has the best of basketball, and we here at the Jump are ready for the race to a championship. We're ready for LeBron and Kawhi.
Saan bansa ka? Nandito ako sa Pinas, sa General Santos City, Mindanao po. With boss Christian Piñaflor. General Santos City, Mindanao.
On ESPN2.
What up, dog?
They're back with new shows every day.
The match.
Jaden and Jacoby.
You watched him play golf yesterday, and he felt like the everyman.
Highly questionable.
I believe in deja vu.
Hi po,
He was chasing
Jingle
Bigfoot.
Rio, Ranion. Okay po, good morning po sa iyo. Salamat sa pagpasok sa aking ilis at bibigyan na po kita ng jacket. At salamat din po sa patamsak mo.
Tuesday through Friday on ESPN.
Ayan na po yung jacket mo.
So
Good
the
morning,
Los
good
Angeles Lakers, LeBron James' starters, 13 points
Salamat
amongst
ka
those
po,
5.
Phil.
They got great contribution from the bench. 31, a little 3 from Alex Caruso. Kuzma continues his solid
Thanks
play.
din po.
A jumper from 3 for
Pagpasok
him.
mo sa aking
Play
ilis
one here.
at sa pagsuporta niyo. Daghan kayo salamat po. Bisaya ning dako bro. Oh, Bisaya po day ka. Maayo kay Bisaya po day ka. Parehas ta Bisaya ni.
MLS is back on ESPN.
Taga-asa mo ka jingle.
ESPN. Live sports is back in a big way. The NBA returns with
Run
the
yun.
Hunt for the championship.
Taga-asa mo ka jingle ran yun.
Roll on.
Kon ako Jinsan.
White Contender Series. MLB continues their 60-game sprint to the playoffs. The NHL is steaming
Bayugan Agusan del Sur. Daghan kog parinti diya
tennis with the
sa Bayugan Agusan del Sur.
this month on ESPN.
Di Los Santos family.
To the Toyota halftime.
Pero dili ko pa na-meet sila mga taga diha banda.
Maria Taylor, Jalen Rose, we've been here all day. It's the last halftime of the day, but in case you missed it, there's a game that we've been keeping a close eye on. 76ers taking on the Pacers, and we're so used to seeing brotherly love in Philadelphia, aren't we, Jalen?
Joel Embiid went off.
Okay, sige, kaila siguro ka. Sige, regards lang ko sa ilahan. Ano man may group chat. Sa group chat lang may nag-aila sa Di Los Santos clan.
Even though he probably started some games early in the game.
So that wasn't a good sign.
Pero akong ate, nag-adto na diya sa Agusan. Nakalaag siya dira.
He don't have
Kaisa.
any fans, so he needed somebody to get him going. But TJ Warren, guess what the Phoenix Suns got for trading him to Indiana?
Well, he had 53 points. I hope a couple first-round picks. Really good. What they get?
Cash consideration. This is his first year with the Pacers. He had 20 points. He had 53 tonight. The Phoenix Suns traded that man for cash considerations. Take us to break, Jesse. You don't even take us to break.
Jalen's mad, so we just gonna go to break. We're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about this game. Kyle Lowry, he's got 11 points thanks to knocking down threes just like
It's all
that.
you money, T. I might not even be here after this.
Oo, nice daw ko ang Agusan. Gingon nila.
Is presented by
Kuha pa ko kaadto dito. Dagan man nag-invite sa kuha dito. Mga relatives gyapon namo. Laag ko dito, busy man gud. Wa di ko kaadto. Tapos bago pa na disgrasya ako na operahan rin sa ulo. Nagibigid ka lag-lag.
Monday, Kings, Magic, Bucks, Rockets on ESPN. Coming this month on ESPN, Live sports is back in a big way. The NBA returns with the hunt for a championship. The rugged battles of the UFC roll on. And more action with the Dana White Contender Series. MLB continues their 60-game sprint to the playoffs. The NHL is steamrolling to the Stanley Cup. And we have Grand Slam tennis with the US Open. All this month on ESPN. There's a world beyond the medals, beyond the spotlight. This is the world of X Games.
Tambay lang ako bro, abang ng pabibinggit. Okay po, salamat po Jingle Rayon sa pagtambay po. Salamat po talaga. Yun, ran yun. Salamat kapatid. Andyan po si Gypsy sa itaas. From USA. Munod tayo ng NBA Live. O, to ako lang mag-isa. Tutulog pa yung mga kasamahan ko. Nasubok akong live dito.
MLS is back on ESPN.
Today on ESPN.
Salamat talaga, salamat sa pagtambay, salamat. Sana all mapabilang ako sa team ninyo para maganda yung makasama din ako sa team ninyo. Gusto ko pong sumali sa team ni ni Boss Christian Piñaplo. Kristan pala. Mega shout out po sa 2 milyong viewers ko na nandyan palagi. Ngayon,
Sports Center after the game, we get a recap from the NBA Bubble Night 3, NHL's return, and the coronavirus continues to threaten the MLB season. The good news is we did not trade Jalen for cash. He did stay in the studio and wants to talk this game. Shall we start with the defending champions? We don't say that enough. The defending champions, Toronto Raptors.
They have a level of effort, toughness, and tenacity that most teams just don't bring on a nightly basis. Masai Ujiri did a terrific
okay,
job.
salamat yun sa pag-uban ninyo. Daghan kayong salamat.
Pascal Siakam. That's a 6'9", 6'10" player who improved his ball handling, making a pull-up. You see Kyle Lowry with the heartbeat of the team with the drop-off of the dunk. And look at Kyle Lowry getting to the paint. A guy that's been a multi-time All-Star. He drives the narrative in that locker room, and it's a pleasure to watch their team play on a nightly basis.
Yes, 11 points from Kyle Lowry, and they also have 5 players that average at least 15 points. That's what they do. Lakers in a close game in this one now.
Yes, indeed. And where's AD?
Where's
1 point in the first half. This is the only time the Lakers played a game this year where LeBron, AD, and the rest of the team didn't have double-figure score
You should
in the first half.
You're nice, Donnie. You're good.
NBA Halftime is presented by Toyota. Go the extra mile to give everyone something to look up to with the all-new Highlander Hybrid.
In each conference, and health is always a concern for a team. And sometimes, even when teams are losing the first few games of conference,
Hong Kong Kanaw, sige, ang pag-amping-amping dyan, hindi ka sa abroad ay. Jingle Rayon di ay, kumusta ang kinabuhi diya sa abroad?
you keep making the next few shots, I think that's what happened to
Nanood
the
ka
NBA.
ng
You know, if you get your
ipanood
defense good,
nimo watching
good
from
system, good
Hong
coach,
Kong
good
good
chemistry.
day. Hong
That's
Kong
right.
day
That's very
layo
important.
sa Hong Kong no.
A lot of
Sige,
ways
salamat
also
salamat
towards
sa
to what
pagtambay
so
sa
far
kuwang
they don't have
Ls
their best team.
pati na rin si Christian
And
Pinleflor.
obviously there will be a
Maraming
stretch where players
salamat
are
talaga sa inyo.
adjusting,
Sinasamahan
figuring
niyo
out
ako.
where they land in the new system, but
Nood tayo ng
that's why
basketball
John
game.
is using a lot of guys.
Way gawas-gawas
It's a lot of
tawon.
effort that you put for this team.
Juan di gyapon day diha quarantine.
Your body will
Ano
get
pag
tired.
gyapon ko day
So
diha?
be able to rotate the players
COVID
more,
gyapon
not
diri
necessarily
sa
during game days.
Mindanao. COVID free na diri. Gikan na tong
Well,
February pero dili tanan sa Davao. Ano pag gyapon kanang medyo
athlete's career is not
stricto pa
able
sa Davao.
be able to
Kay
recover
dagan
rest.
COVID sa Davao.
Because it's also very important if the team can operate as a unit. Cruz leaving at
Maayo nang way gawas-gawas kay mamuti ka na diha kay di ka maigo sa init.
Rosario gets to 17 points, and for Jericho Cruz, that's going to be assist number 6. John Blackwater has not scored in the fourth quarter. Wow, that is now a 20-0 run.
Daghan day dito gyapon sa inyo.
You know, check that. I believe bridging the third and fourth quarters, it's already a 26-0 run.
Mao ba?
And
Yung mga pamilya sa Agusan natin
it just
gyapon
seems like the
dito.
energy has been sucked out of Blackwater at this point.
Okay, sige, amping, mag-amping tatanan namin.
Little you can do with this
Para-
deficit, and Cruz about to add more. Let's set his career record.
Pag-amping gid kinahanglan mao ginato ang kapital karon
That ball, they're making stops, makes
sa
it
mo
look
karon
so easy.
amping lang pirmi.
I don't remember
Diha
the
gid
last time I saw
am
20
magkaayo kita kay saon man ning ato ang panginabuhi karon dala ning mga ingon ani karon. Wa gyud po amo dang wala ning COVID ni.
Was erased here in the fourth quarter. So the last field goal, Blackwater, was by Paul Desiderio with about 1 minute left in the third quarter. I think that was
Saon
the
na lang na.
play that's where he got the defender to bite. He failed on the
Good
free
morning,
throw,
good
and
morning,
the
Christian
rest
Pinleflor.
was TNT.
Salamat sa pagtambay ninyo guys.
Now, Mark Nickel going with guys in the third string. Third unit. But Jericho Cruz still doing a lot of damage here. Oh boy, 17 points now for Jericho Cruz. Fourth quarter's deep. All the problems piling up. Di Gregorio finally ends it. The drought of Blackwater. It was a 31-0 run before Di Gregorio was able to score. This is only the third game back or rather the third game for Jericho Cruz in this conference. And he's been doing
It's very smart.
Now, go ahead, soon as that.
nice low kick.
UFC sa tawa pa man nagsugod ang ano.
And now,
Bro, out
see,
po
now
na
Brandon
ako.
Russ not-
See
he's
you.
thinking
Okay,
about
salamat
that
po
shot
bro.
now.
Salamat sa pagdalaw sa aking LS. Opo, magkita-kita tayo sa inyo mamaya-maya.
Start to let those hands go.
Salamat din po. Salamat.
Yeah, Randy's got to
Ingat ka po.
Well, he doesn't have the thickest of legs at 6'3", making his weight class.
Ingat po kayo dyan.
Not like you call it baseball bat resolutions.
Yeah, it's true. But I mean, I know you're making a joke, but it's true. My calf is just physically going to be able to take a couple more shots because there's more mass there, right? The guys with skinnier legs, they do.
Huge right hand over the top for Vicente. I mean, he was heavy shot.
Beautiful work.
Rude boy trying to survive the onslaught here.
This is where Luque said he wanted to get ahead. He said, if I knock him down, I'm going to get that submission. This is where I go for it. But he doesn't force things, so let's see him take his time here. Right now, he's in half guard. Randy Brown needs to let go of that head. He's just wasting his energy there, trying to buy some time. But it doesn't do anything to Luque to squeeze that head. It's just getting Randy Brown some time so that Luque can't punch it from that top half guard position.
What Luque's doing here is he's giving little elbows to that calf that he's already put some damage on.
Okay, with a big left hand on the way up. Now Brown returns to his feet. Interesting that Luque did want that submission. He's more known for his knockouts. His last 6 wins coming by knockout.
Sige, Christian Punyaflor, ako sa muna.
With Dominic Cruz, Paul Felder, and Javi Entrol is backstage as well. Here for the Apex in Las Vegas. So Brown.
Men's development.
Back to NBA na naman tayo. NBA yan. Live kasi. Sayang, nagpusta kami. Di kami namang 5 points ang LA Lakers.
Home while she had been asleep, and there have been no arrests made in the case. Players and allies looking for justice for Breonna Taylor. Off the miss, the lead is up to 6. Siakam, she working.
Into an all-star starter that you can employ all over the floor.
Whistle the foul, going to go against the Raptors. LeBron Melinda. We saw the other message on LeBron's shoes, a message to his family members. Zuri, his young daughter. Players and their families of Davis.
Salamat kapatid sa mga nandyan na nakatambay na 2 milyong viewers ko. Good morning sa 1 milyong viewers ko na nandyan. Salamat sa pagtambay. Panghakutay mo ang mga amiga dala diri sa kuang ilis. Inamat to sa sila diri sa kuwag. Wala sila lingaw kay wa koy kauban diri. Jingle. Nakaimingaw ang ako ang ilis. Okay, sige, salamat. Sige, kuha sila, kuta. Yan nga, suportahan sa nato atuang. Okay, first time, second time na ko na ini nga LS karon, kahapon karon. Hindi pa kayo ko kabalo, cellphone lang akong gigamit. Hindi ko kabalo sa laptop sa on pag login. Bang, tie score. Kita na lang duha. Sagdi na lang sila, sige, kita na lang doon, mag one on one na lang tani, okay ra na kayo, eh. Maayo, kanina kay sulo ko nimo, tapos sulo punta ka, no? Sunod, ani, ikaw na ang hawod sa LS, ang maayo unta. Kung mahawod na kita ni, kay, para nga, okay na ning at ako ang channel. Usar mabugod ka video akong nag-ano sa kuha ko doy, nag-viral. Muni ka na ba, Jingle? Ako kayo kulang WH ang kulang. Ana pag-una o. Ana pag-una unya. Ana day na. Pila na may edad ni mo, Angel, karon? Dugay na ka sa imong trabaho sa Hong Kong? Bago pa ko taon. Bago pa di ay. Paresta. Kausad, bago pa po. Akong anak. Diha di ka nakapangasawa kay na kay anak diha. Maayo. Maayong buntag sa imong anak. Dako na imong anak. Naaday kay balay diha. Diha, maayo. Citizen na day ka diha. Pila ka buk imong anak? Ako kay ulit tao pag yung kuha ni. Change favor na naman. Akong anak na ko nasa YouTube, hawod. Kayo ha. Maayo day. Hawod day kayo mong anak day. Apil ra ko ani. Maayo bitaw, uban bitaw mga bata bitaw no, hawod. Ako, sad ko kamawani. Mga testing ra ko ani ba. Mas maayo bitaw mga bata karon bitaw. Maayo kay sila. Ako di magkukusan na yan ng internet ay. Nag-ilis. Ano sa'y pangalan sa imong anak ka nag-ilis? Basig dito na ko gikan sa ilaha pirme kay daghan kay kog ilis ginaadtuan tong nangisda pa ko. "21 na ako anak ha." Pastilan. Okay kayo. 21 na day ulitaw na. Perting mayuhan na naman. Ako wagi ko'y kabangkaagan ng mga gadget mong good kayo good. Tanaan na do gadget sa bukid. Itong cellphone dito sa bukid kay katurumang pindot-pindot anang dikipad karon nang baguhan ta ba nga tamad sa ta mag-practice lagi di takibalo. Pero paningkamutan ako ni paningkamot. Pila na imong banana, Jingle? Ubay na. Anos ka mag-ilis bod? "41 ako oy bata lang tutan-ahon ana gyud na ang 41 na day ka. Tama 41 na kay 21 imong anak. So 20 anyos ka na minyo. Okay na no? 20 ako 20 ano ulitaw pa ko ano pa na akong edad karon 28 mag 29 na ko. Sa akong birthday rong Nobyembre pohon. Mag 29 bilagi niya. Wala kita'y kuwan anay.
Sente Luque staying in his kitchen for the full 10 minutes and ends it just before the end of the second rounds.
Boy, does he. We'll see right here. Let's see where his hand...
Saan man tong NBA man?
Now,
Pamanagresyum usab. Gamay pa taon piskot ning akong anak maning kamot daw ko og pango. Okay sige. Adto unya pa maghuman kog ilis unya. Adto na to si Christian Piñaflor kay daghan kay to guan banana si Christian Piñaflor, si PG Paras, si Longoloids Vlogs, si Idos Vlog, si Jay Culuso. Dito ko sa ilahan ng isda dati, daghan kay kog may isda dito madakpan. Mga muni naman na sila, tapos katong si It's an C channel. Perting daghan nag viewers pag abot og tag 700 pag mag-ilis siya. Ang ihang viewers perting daghan ng mga isda dito. Ay daghan ng hatag diag asawa, pastilan tagi ta diha. Ang Amerikana. Na. Di ba siguro kaya na kay gamatoy tang tao. Pero kumpiyansa sila sa Pinoy. Add mo ko sa FB. Sige, add ta ka sa FB. Unsay pangalan nimo sa FB? Ako Archie Olores akong email. Sige para friend punta sa FB. Kay gamay pa lang akong friend, kuan pa lang kabuok. 200 pa lang kapin akong friend ani nga akong FB. Kay nag-accept ko 100 kapin. Maricho Ranion. Okay, Maricho Ranion. Okay, copy. Maricho Ranion. Maricho Ranion. Oh. Amerikano nang imong bana diha, Maricho. Ay. Add kita. Okay, sige. Add ko kay Archie Olores ako ati kang i-accept. Ang profile ako karon bago ko nagkuan og profile katong nag-ana ko nagahukas ko kay nag-change profile ko kay giigang ko. Dili oy. Dili di ay. Nasa Bayogan ako bana. Nasa Bayogan imong bana tapos ikaw ra day na diha. Maricho Ranion. Pila naman kabuk dalagingging nimo karon, Madam Maricho. Maricho Ranion. Yes. Isa lang, dua laki. Okay na kayo. Okay na kayo. Naan na. Na kay dalagingging ug ulitaw. Dugay-dugay na kay apo ana kay 20 anyos so maminyo na ginadugay-dugay. Ug babae na minyo na. Ug lalaki na nanguyab-nguyab pa. Labi nagdaghan sa YouTuber siya, daghan yung kayo, isa lang duha ka laki sa kabani na maura diha gid maura gid na at abutan. Aminyo gid ang tao pa ko karon ay nangita palagi tag ahata makadasma ganig buutan lagi nga babae. Makakita tag babae po ni ngita ta kay lagpas sa taon ko dugay-dugay sa kalendaryo ano na 28 na ko mag 29 mag 29 ako so tuig nilang kape ano na ko lapaw na ko sa kalendaryo. Lapas na sa kalendaryo 2020, 1990 man ko 20 mag 20 ko karon sa 2010 20 30 1990 mag 30 99 karon ko sa 29 day next ang 20 pila nakakabulan di sa Hong Kong. Isa lang, duha ka lalaki sa babae. Years old. Dalaga na. Bata pa na.
HBO Go.
Dalaga na.
On
16
Signal.
years old na
Subscribe
babae.
now. For more details, visit www.signal.tv.
Nanguyab na to. Kamao na to manguyab boy. Kabalo na manguyab na.
Sa bilis ng pagbabago.
Ang uban ganay 14 na daw sila uyab.
Marami pala tayo.
Guys, News High School. Ana. Uyab-uyab na.
Nagbago man ang ihip ng hangin. Hindi tayo kayang paghiwalayin. Sa panahon ng pag-aalinlangan, ako ang iyong katiyakan. Sa panahon ng karamdaman,
Tamsaki sa si host usap jingle.
mas mararamdaman mo kami.
Buutan sila eh. Diya gyud buutan magpinutan
Hindi
gyud.
lang para sa atin, maging para sa iba.
Pero di gid na maiwasan sa eskwelahan, lagi na uyab-uyab, crush, di ba?
At kabuhayan natin sa kanila.
Okay ra maminyo na nga kanang makahuman nag-eskwela,
Sa bagong ngayon, may
sunod
pagkakataon.
sa amahan, ikikanan,
Nawi at makabangon.
dan na bro, uyab-uyab yun. Ana lang yun. Diya gina padulong. Uyab-uyab. Uyab sa ana. Pag magkagustuhan, diyan na. Unahon sa gyud eskwela.
Katuwang mo na kami mula noon.
Kay igado kayo karong panahon.
Gagapay mo pa rin sa pagbabago na ngayon.
Ranyon.
Totoo ba? Wala na naman tubig. Tama yan.
Saan ba kagawan?
Binuutan yung Toronto Raptors. Ala ka lamang naglimaw? Na, 8 na. Yung taas ng lamang. Daugay ng tanyo. Lamintay nga ni pagka fourth quarter ba? Huwag yung kapusta. Ba? Huwag ko kapusta karon ba? Lowry. First quarter, third quarter lamang nila. Injipal, itulak. pusta gyud bugo. Oo, lagi ni pusta gahapon, nagpusta mi gahapon kadaog mi sa kalibo karon. Katulog man akong kauban, no, mi kapusta kay paman ko kalaag-laag dito sa ubos. Naunta dito sa palengke pustahan, no, lamang na ra ba ako ang team, oh, Raptors. Daog ni karon sayang kay bawa mi kapusta. Kadaog mi gapon sa Houston Rockets. Usa ra gud kalibo, lingaw-lingaw. Nigka finals na, nigka playoffs na dagko na usahay, dagko pud sa ano nang pusta og nay kwarta. Pulo na ang lamang. Ang tatlo nimo ka anak tanan naga-YouTube tanan sila. Madam Maritzo. Jingle lan yun. Naga-income na sila sa YouTube kay hawod man sila kayo, no? Tani kasugod palagi. Bro out muna ako kay naay call ko. Add mo ko na lang. Oh sige add kita niya, sige. Amping. Okay, copy Maritzo Ranyon. Okay, copy. Sige Add ka niya. LS pa ko. Madugangan ning ano, maadto ta dito kay Christian Piñaflor. Daghan kayo dito isda. Nagsugod na to siya, alas 10 daw. Pero balik sa kasakuha kay di pa ko mag-out ug mahuman kag imong call diha. Kay wa ko'y kauban dre, mingaw kayo biji-biji, sige bye-bye amping, sige tamsaki sa si host pod para okay kayo. Amping Madam Maritzo. Salamat sa pagdalaw sa akong LS. Yes, kita taon niya. Okay, sige. Kita taon niya. Aper dayon. Hehe. Sige, amping. Tamsak sa diha. Dugangi sa usa ang tamsak ni host. Manoy. Dugangi gani, dugang. Oh. Naunsi na ang lamang. Tracy. Unsi. Alex Caruso 9 pips to assist 3 step. Ay, subukan na si Ibakag. Ulo naman. Save ka. Na, patay nawa ng NBA. Hindi ba ta kabalo magkunik ano sa wifi? Sa ano pagkunik sa wifi man niya. Back home. Balik na. Naglock sa i-connect sa wifi. Dosi. 3C kaya 65. Nagi-block ka ni iba. Unsa man ni akong ano Pikas UFC pa man.
Know when I got here.
Tulo ka Petro. Oh. Reporting. Hindi. Start. Ito na lang lamang. Ay, sa iba ka. Diyan na yun ang isa. Hindi, hinapon. Makipunta na siya. Kung ano yung extend niya.
Then in play from the corner. You know, speaking of Fred Van Vliet and the barbershop, Frank Vogel went into the barbershop a couple of days ago, and he had been watching an hour's worth of film on the Raptors, and in particular, Fred Van Vliet. And as Vogel sat down in the barber's chair, guess who was in the barber chair beside him? Fred Van Vliet. Looked at Fred and said, you know, I just finished watching about an hour's worth of tape on you. So far, it seems to have worked because Van Vliet hasn't made a ton of shots tonight for the Raptors, just 3 of 8. 8 points, well below his season average, but still more than a quarter to go. Interesting random bump-ups. Bump-ins.
Right. Right. This has been such a hard-fought game. Both teams are below 40% shooting. 33% from 3. The Raptors 8 for 24. It's been a real struggle from 3 for the Lakers, 4 for 25.
Los Angeles has missed its last 10 threes in a row. Lead is at 7. Siakam against Kuz. This is a nice matchup. Good defense by Kuzma. 4 on the shot clock. Van Vliet working against Caruso. Got him up in the air. And they get the stop. And that's going to be a foul on Rondae Hollis-Jefferson.
So you've been talking a little bit of Pascal Siakam, his growth, how long he's been playing. One of the things they've done is try to turn him loose. Give him the ball in semi-transition. Let him become a decision maker. Give him confidence. And he talks about that. Sort of the faith the coaching staff has placed in him. And it's going to be fascinating to see him in the playoffs. Sort of absorb the higher level scout. The greater attention to detail. Multiple defenders may be coming in his direction.
Different existence as that guy in the playoffs. Teams build their defenses around stopping you. And you're no longer one of those tertiary players or secondary players as Davis knocks down the second free throw. 5-point ball game approaching a minute to go in the third quarter. Davis with 11.
Yeah, he's got 9 at the free throw line, Mark. That's the beauty of him, though, boy. At that size, to be that good free throw shooter.
85% on the season. Powell coming in hot. Norman Powell with a nice looking hook shot over Kuzma.
Yeah, but I love Kuzma's reaction. That's a drastic difference from his rookie year. Like, he was frustrated he got scored on.
Caruso with the kick out to Kuzma, who continues to shoot it well.
Yeah, but the care factor on the defensive end is so different. I mean, I love the shot make, but I love his visible frustration of being scored on. Now, if you're going to be a big part of a championship team, get down in the stance, guard somebody, challenge a shot, and then get mad when they make a shot like that. The care factor, that's big time.
Part of his maturation. LeBron, man, he put Rondae Hollis-Jefferson in the weight room. I mean, Hollis-Jefferson ended up almost into the stanchion. And James with a bucket, he too has 11 points. About a 5-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Van Vliet out top. Powell looked for the call. And he misses everything. Plenty of time for the Lakers. The Lakers will pull the trigger. And that's the end of the third quarter of play as the Lakers cut the lead by the Raptors to 2 points.
Mark, I think Caruso...
Hollywood makes the right.
Yeah, she lost it. Hollywood working in front of her corner there with top control. Sarah Kaufman in her corner. Hollywood says after a lot with her clinch game. Also, obviously, coach and player special relationship. Hollywood is engaged to her head coach and lead corner, John Wood, who is the head coach at Syndicate MMA right here in Las Vegas. So the wedding planning on hold for now. Got business to take care of. Business to take care of.
Now she's in full guard here, Maya. I believe she's in jiu-jitsu black belt as well. Am I right there? Got black belt on the ground for Maya.
Well, Maya's doing well right now to stop the damage. She has that high guard to hold off these opportunities.
The elbow is right in between there, so she can slide out or it can get stuck here. That looks pretty tight.
Right now, Collins got her shit on the face. She's makes it a little hard, but she's got look at her. She's back in. Look at how the thumb is right now. The thumb of Calderwood being in the position is allowing her to be able to twist and move. Now she's now it's
Huge performance for the Brazilian. First round selection victory. Wow, puts her black belt to use for bottom position. And her tap out.
beautiful armbar transition. And the key was the way she tucked it underneath the armpit. She did it early because Calderwood was twisting her hand side to side. When she stuffed it under the armpit, it secured the armbar. Right here, she goes under the leg, which keeps Calderwood from being able to move her hips and follow the armbar. Now she grabs her hands and locks down Calderwood, but Maya does the right thing. She stretches her out. Here so that she can get the elbow out. Maya does the right thing. She crosses it under the armpit there, and that's what really straightens out the elbow and causes the tap. Beautiful adjustment by Maya. And great finish.
5 wins by submission. Say hello to the flyweight top 5 after a win like that. Jennifer Maya gets her hand raised when we come back.
It is Great Britain. Instruct. The bloody sock and pine tar helmet. Give us the Red Sox and the Yankees. Give us Sunday Night Baseball. Monday on ESPN2.
What a dump.
I believe in deja vu.
Last we saw him, he was chasing aliens and Bigfoot.
And around the horn. So you played, and then you overplayed yourself. I'm not going there.
Who's still clamoring about this?
Help me out here. Get down! Mornings, Tuesday through Friday on ESPN.
Welcome back to the NBA Restart presented by State Farm. I'm here with Raptors coach Nick Nurse. Nick, let's back up just a little bit. Before the game, you came out here and took a knee with your team. You told me repeatedly that you've talked to your guys about Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
What does he mean to you?
Well, I saw this kneeling for the anthem as a tribute to him. I think that
Hello sa 1 million viewers ko na nandyan.
anthems are disrespecting anyone
Nag-shout out ko sa'yo. Ako man na di ay. Okay kayo.
attention to
Di balik na kada sa kuwakis ko,
police brutality, and so I wore his shoes tonight. I wanted to honor him.
It's hard to pivot from that. Thank you to basketball, but we still have one more quarter left to play. What have you done? What have your guys done that has been so successful in limiting LeBron James and Anthony Davis?
Well, we're playing good defense. We're helping each other. We're throwing a lot of schemes at them. We're just, defense is a lot about executing the game plan and playing really hard. We're doing that, and we got a pretty good game here.
Yeah, you do. Thanks so much, Nick.
Thank you.
Guys.
Jason, you think about his history, he's always been at the helm, so he's quite comfortable there, despite the fact that this is his second season as an NBA head coach.
Great point for us. Kuzma on the break with LeBron. They'll pull it out and run a little half court. Finds LeBron in the corner. Stepping back on the three-footer for LeBron James, now with 14. And the Lakers with a 1-point lead. That's their first lead since it was 47 to 44 in the second quarter. As Thomas has checked into the ball game. Good defense by Dion Waiters, but called for the block. LeBron James coming downhill, that's trouble for the Raptors.
Well, you get Kyle Kuzma off the dribble drive, touches the paint, doesn't have a good shot. No wasted possession. Don't force a bad shot, Kyle Kuzma. Yet another area of growth for him. Let me kick it to the king. LeBron and AD will be hurt for Anthony Davis off the hook by fouling him. Right? He's got 9 minutes left at the free throw line.
And there's that Kuzma defense you were talking about a moment ago. Little heat check for LeBron. And the fire is flaming with the 3. 4-point lead for the Lakers. Van Vliet on the drive. And Anunoby, a 40% three-point shooter, man. That is a marked improvement in his game.
No hesitation. And I think, in just talking to Nick Nurse, the anticipation is likely in the playoffs he's going to get a little let go, right? Because, okay, it's 40% in the regular season. Make those shots in the playoffs. I think they'll test him still, but I like the confidence and the equity OG is building in his mind in the regular season.
Got 14 points in the ballgame right now.
So defense to offense, this is what Frank Vogel was talking about. Look at that effort from Kyle Kuzma. Okay, you're beat, use your length to make a shot. LeBron woke up 3, and the Lakers in the lead.
Matt Thomas guarding Dion Waiters. Kicks it out to LeBron from the same spot. Different result. Dwight Howard couldn't get his hands on a rebound, and back comes Rick Van Vliet. Into the teeth of the defense, same spot by Anunoby. Same results.
I love it. I'll tell you, just defensively, typically, you're going to judiciously pick the guys you give shots to. You've now given him 2, and he's made 2.
Long cross court to Caruso. Good steal by Dwight Howard. And he's fouled by Marc Gasol.
OG Anunoby.
You know what the OG stands for? Outside game.
Right here. Van Vliet, nice job to kick to the corner. Look at how confidently he lets that go.
Howard in the foul line. That's the 4th foul, meanwhile, on Marc Gasol. Lakers trailing by a pair. Dwight Howard with the foul line. 12 minutes, 4 points and 4 rebounds. And he began his career not too far from here in Orlando.
It was by far the most successful stretch in his career.
Coached by Stan Van Gundy. Over on the media side of the NBA family right now, doing a great job.
Yes.
In the team.
Lost to the Lakers in the finals. That was my first finals with Mark, Jeff, Mike.
I don't think Stan gets enough credit for that 4 out, 1 in that he had going back.
No question about it. And think about how good his teams were defensively without having great individual defensive pieces with the exception of Dwight.
Right.
And they just bought into the scheme. Their scouts are outstanding. And think about the backdoor layup. I believe it was Courtney Lee that would have won the basketball.
Kumana, o yasa naman ka, kumana naman ka.
Here's LeBron against Anunoby. These two have got a little bit of history. LeBron couldn't finish, missed the tip. The Raptors get the stop. Under 9 minutes to go. Matt Thomas from deep. And Thomas tried to chase it down. It's off with him out of bounds. Laker basketball. Matt Thomas is a guy that Nick Nurse told earlier this season, hey, if you want to carve your niche in this league, I want you to watch a lot of video of J.J. Redick. That's who you can be. That's a great guy to pattern your game at. Waiters comes up short on the jumper. Powell with a head of steam, but he couldn't catch. Caldwell Pope on the move. Who's passed up an open look? Has a mismatch against Van Vliet. And Van Vliet knocks it out of bounds. Laker basketball. Folks, Sunday on ABC. 2 great games for you here from Orlando. 3:30 Eastern, the Blazers taking on the Celtics. And then in prime time, Mike Green, Jeff Van Gundy, Mark Jackson have the Bucks and the Rockets. And there was no better show than James Harden. Well, maybe next to Space Mountain. What a ride that was. He was fantastic. Last night, Kuzma for 3. And it's a 2-point Laker lead. Kuzma picking up the slack offensively. At 13. saw it as a mismatch on the waivers.
This is good action. You know, they get the two-man game on one side of the floor, got the matchup they wanted. Just great execution. Good feel between Gasol and Fred VanVleet.
The NBA on ESPN is presented all season long by State Farm. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
versus Ultimate next Sunday on ESPN2 and streaming live on the ESPN app.
Man, these guys won a contract.
Coming this month on ESPN, live sports is back in a big way. The NBA returns with the hunt for a championship. The bloody battles of the UFC roll on. And more action with the Dana White Contender Series. MLB continues their 60-game sprint to the playoffs. The NHL is steamrolling to the Stanley Cup. And we have Grand Slam tennis with the U.S. Open. All this month on ESPN.
Hey fans, Rachel Nichols here. We know that ESPN has the best of basketball, and we here at The Jump are ready for the race to a championship. We're here for you 5 days a week. The Jump on ESPN2.
The chase for the Stanley Cup begins. Two talented Canadian squads meet in Edmonton for a best-of-5 play-in series. Calgary is desperate for a taste of playoff success after an early exit last season. But they get a tough draw in Winnipeg and star goalkeeper Connor Hellebuck. Jets, Flames, today on ESPN.
MLS is back on ESPN.
Yeah, Danny. I see DG. Javaz, yo. Pin down. Watch the pin down. I got ball. I got ball. Go, Kenny. Go, Kenny. Got a match. They get back quick. Yes, sir, bro. Hey, good shot, boy. Kyle Kuzma wired for sound, talking a distinct asset and skill. Maybe even more so in this environment, Doris.
I just love that as they were coming up the floor, he's anticipating they're running pin down action. I mean, his first year in the league, this guy was about one end of the floor, right? And he admitted to his deficiencies, committed to it, and if he's going to play for Frank Vogel, he's going to be as good as he's been and worked as hard as he has tonight.
Vogel's teams historically, defensively, have been some of the best in the league, especially going back to his time with the Indiana Pacers. Those Eastern Conference battles with LeBron James's Dwayne Wade's Miami Heat. And Chris Brock, out of bounds. Will remain Raptors basketball. As James will sub out of the ball game with 7:01 to go. Folks, we've never seen a game quite like this, and now you can see it too with Michelob Ultra. Get your tickets at ultracourtside.com. Great angles and views, some 30 cameras around the court. With the unlimited access, never before seen access to the court during our games. Out of bounds, The view says it's Toronto ball. Let's look at our rail cam, which almost ran over Luka Doncic the other day in one of the games. Kyle Lowry is getting clutch for Toronto.
Leads all scorers by a wide margin of 26. He's double the next closest person.
The Raptors lead by 3. Davis for the tie. Got it. Butter. Anthony Davis, after a slow offensive first half, has 14. Lowry was looking for the foul on the shot. Back comes Dion Waiters. Waiters against Van Vliet. Looking to go to work here, the mid-range. Bodies hit the court. Davis goes down with Lowry. No surprise there in Van Vliet. Finishing in traffic. Van Vliet with his 4th field goal. He's got 10.
And a turnover in transition. You see the Lakers try to complete that pass quite often. The screen, you almost have a double. Siakam setting one low. Serge trying to set a flare. And the 3 by Lowry.
Lakers have 16 turnovers in the game. All about their season average. Siakam, acrobatic finish. Spicy P and 1.
So Mark, we've seen them deploy in the post. We've seen them allowed to bring it up in transition. He elects to set up like he's coming off the Kyle Lowry screen, which they'll do quite a bit, but he goes opposite. Sells Anthony Davis. That is far too easy. And how about that finger roll? George Gervin-esque, the adjustment in the air.
Body control.
I mean, okay. This young man has not, relatively speaking, been playing the game for all that long in an organized fashion. Do you know the first thing he said to Masai Ujiri when they talked in Masai's office? He just looked him in the eye. Now, he didn't have an offensive repertoire at that point, but he just looked at him and said, I have zero interest in being a role player in this league.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Masai Ujiri, the architect of this championship franchise, in his 17th tournament now for the Lakers. Anunoby with the slam, and Vogel wants to talk it over.
You see Caruso and Anthony Davis having an extended conversation.
A 7-0 run for the Raptors as LeBron exited and went to the bench. Outside game and inside game. Lakers trail the Raptors.
I'm having a game of my life. Are you missing it? That last one was for you. Hey!
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Give us the rivalry, the clean shaves and the short porch, the beards and the green mom. Give us the catch and the pinstripe, the bloody sock and pine tar helmet. Give us the Red Sox and the Yankees. Give us Sunday Night Baseball, Mondays on ESPN2.
Monday, Kings, Magic, Bucks, Rockets on ESPN.
Man, these guys want a contract.
Coming this month on ESPN, live sports is back in a big way. The NBA returns with the hunt for a championship. The rugged battles of the UFC roll on. And more action with the Dana White Contender Series. MLB continues their 60-game sprint to the playoffs. The NHL is steamrolling to the Stanley Cup. And we have Grand Slam tennis with the U.S. Open. All this month on ESPN.
The chase for the Stanley Cup begins. Two talented Canadian squads meet in Edmonton for a best-of-5 play-in series. Calgary is desperate for a taste of playoff success after an early exit last season. But they get a tough draw in Winnipeg and star goalkeeper Connor Hellebuck. Jets, Flames, today on ESPN.
Pretty much identical between last year and this year through 64 games for the Toronto Raptors, the number 2 seed in the East now, as they were a year ago at this time. But the only thing that really matters is what will happen to that TPD. Will it result in the same ending as it did last year?
Right, and on the other side of the equation, the 7-0 run coincides with LeBron sitting. And these are small moments, but moments where they've got to be able to survive and not have that kind of disparity.
LeBron finds Caruso. We trust Caruso, but that time unable to catch. Lowry took a blow again and crashed to the court. This game is a distinct 1980s, early 90s feel to it. That's a good air body check.
Does that look like a Detroit, Boston, mid-air collision? A Miami Heat, New York Knicks, 80s collision?
Yeah, that's Allen Houston coming down the lane and getting hit by P.J. Brown. Those Knicks and Heat series. Van Vliet from deep, finding it in the right time. And the Raptors go up by 10.
Van Vliet with 13, 10 and 4.
Whistle and foul going to go against the Raptors.
Talk about tough-minded competitors. It's a slow start for Van Vliet. Ball swings, he's ready on the catch. Caruso's got a little bit of ground to cover because he didn't keep it to the ball.
Fourth foul against Anunoby. Trying to hit Davis. Out of bounds on the Raptors. Shot clock at 14. See what we run here. LeBron wanted the lob. Pass got there through traffic. And he converts.
Tremendous pass.
Wasn't much of a window there.
No, that was tight window.
LeBron with the layup. He's got 19 on 7 of 14 from the field. See if Kuzma can get the stop. Caruso switches on to Siakam. Has a height advantage. Came over the top, no foul call. Back to Siakam, missed again. And LeBron finishing the possession with an offensive board. Spinning in traffic. Contact again, and that's going to get blocked. Lowry involved again in another collision. We need shoulder pads, helmets, cigars, and tape in this one.
Off the window, freight train basketball. God bless you, Kyle Lowry. One tough nut. Because how many guys, and this is what Nick Nurse said to us prior to the game, when you play freight train basketball, are we going to duck and cover, or are we going to step in and take a charge?
You know how they say you don't miss something until it's gone? It's all that. It's 22 teams, all in one place, ready to make history. It's a whole new game.
Brown makes the second of 2 foul shots. Approaching 4 minutes to go. Lowry with a pull-up. Draws the hit on Kuzma. Getting 2 free throws. Confident Kyle Lowry staring down Kuzma.
Lanong? Lanong? Ha? Unsa naw? Di na ko dunggan yung tingog. Hello. Ay, super kalan dia sa kwan, dia sa pangalan na ning sa downtown, dia sa kanang may dol sa may Dunkin Donut, dia sa may Pioneer. Hello. Sige. Lanong. Oh, sa may Pioneer. Oh, dia sa kilid sa bangko, street sa bangko sa depositan og kuan, streeto ni mo na, nay Dunkin Donut niya, nasa kilid sa Dunkin Donut. Tapad sa Philippine Island, Bank of the Philippine Island. One three to nga kuha. Ay dili kuan. 776 115. Oh, dia pod. Oh, sige, salamat. Oo. Hello guys.
Kings, Magic, Bucks, Rockets on ESPN. The chase for the Stanley Cup begins. Two talented Canadian squads meet in Edmonton for a best-of-5 play-in series. Calgary is desperate for a taste of playoff success after an early exit last season. But they get a tough draw in Winnipeg and star goalkeeper Connor Hellebuck. Jets, Flames, today on ESPN.
There is a world beyond the medals. This is the world of X Games. Go beyond the games. Go beyond the extraordinary. Go inside the world of X Games on ESPN.
You know, at the corner of 16th and Lehigh in Philadelphia, Norris, they talk about Kyle Lowry. That's his block. And he owns this block right now. 30 points and 11 goals.
Switch here defensively, a little more aggressive.
Caldwell Pope with the mid-range. And he knocks it down. It is down to 9. Still some time. Lakers need to get a stop here, though. And Anobi is going to handle it. Guarded by Caruso. Lowry fouled, and I think he was behind the three-point line as he ended up on his backside. So did Kuzma. So that's going to be the fourth on Kuzma.
So as much as we've talked about him working harder and being a little bit more on point with the scout, they're still attacking him. And he has, he's committed a couple of those fouls. One on a one-on-one. Kyle's trying to get by him.
Boy, Lowry playing some great basketball down here. He looked good in the scrimmages and has looked outstanding in playoff form already here tonight.
It's better than a guy his size who's a little cantankerous, right?
Like him that way. That's redundant when you say cantankerous in Philadelphia, right?
I'm now a resident, so be careful, my friend.
Kyle has his family back in Philadelphia. His handsome boys and his lovely bride, who's a former collegiate basketball player in her own right. Lowry scored the last 7. LeBron with a 3 on the way, off the mark. Down by 12. It's an uphill climb for the Lakers from here. Lowry on Caldwell Pope. Ibaka with a nice dime inside, and Anunoby fouled on the ground. And that's still a penalty situation, so OG Anunoby will go to the foul line and shoot. I'm with you, Coach. The Raptors, they look sharp. As Frank Vogel told us in our meeting with him pregame, see, they are definitely a threat to repeat. And he just wasn't saying it to gas them up or hype this game. It was said with serious sincerity.
They mix their schemes defensively. They understand personnel. I've talked about the trust. They comport themselves like champions. Their chest is out a little bit. They went through 10 weeks of a championship run.
Well, comes up short on the 3. Well, in fact, the Raptors have a 10 winning streak against the Lakers as Anunoby threatening to make it 11.
The bench over there. Look at the bench raising the roof. Oh, that is great. That feels more like a college team having a little bit of fun over there.
This will be the second win in a row against LeBron and the Lakers this year. They beat them in Los Angeles. Siakam couldn't finish. Look who's there. He was ubiquitous. Kyle Lowry all over the court.
The sprint out, Kyle, not afraid to make the push ahead. Look at credit on time to Mr. OG Anunoby. He's the wild card, but OG Anunoby's had himself a night. 23 points, 4 boards. Raptors look sharp.
Can't call them LeBrontos anymore.
Lewis versus Oldby next Sunday on ESPN2 and streaming live on the ESPN app.
Hey fans, Rachel Nichols here. We know that ESPN has the best of basketball, and we here at The Jump are ready for the race to a championship. We're here for you 5 days a week. The Jump on ESPN2.
Whenever the Raptors have needed a spark this year, whenever their spirits were a little bit off-center, not present, they've always looked at Kyle Lowry.
How efficient was that move? Lift him with a shot fake. Don't waste a lot of energy. Just get to your space. How to beat Anthony Davis, understanding how to use the opposite side of the rim. The emotion, the toughness, the leadership. You know, I asked Nick, who's driving the vibe? Because there's a good feel about this group, and the first guy to be mentioned was Kyle Lowry. I do think Marc Gasol is a veteran. Obviously, has given this team a lot of great stuff as LeBron looks like his night is over.
There was a technical foul as we went to commercial. And just because I think Lowry won...
Hello po sa 1 million viewers ko nandyan. Salamat po sa pagsilip. Katamsak naman kayo, Mr. Dimdim. Bigyan mo naman ng tamsak si host. Isang tamsak lang.
So season low shooting, season low field goals made, season low assists. And this had as much to do with some of their struggles as it did with the team opposite them, forcing them into the struggles.
Our Raptors came down to Florida back in late June. A mini training camp over at Florida Gulf Coast University in Fort Myers. About 3 hours across the peninsula here. And they were willing to tell anyone who was willing to listen that we love our chances. They've got championship lineage.
Tamsak naman dyan.
Knowledge right now that is worth a lot. As Boucher misfires from downtown. Under a minute to go. Deion Waiters working against Matt Thomas. Don't forget, we got a doubleheader tomorrow for you on ABC. As the NBA is back in earnest, a whistle, potential 4-point play for Deion Waiters. Perhaps a little bit too little, too late for Los Angeles. Lakers never really seemed to get any kind of offensive flow tonight. And like you said, a lot of that is the reason for that is because of the Raptors.
I think about Avery. Yeah, all the threes Avery Bradley made in that matchup when the Lakers beat Milwaukee, like the on-ball defensive play, the number of threes.
Daw, kung bata doon, nagsabi ko sa iyo ha.
The guy that made shots on
Ang baka no? Ulo mata? Ikaw bunga. Sayang kayo mga.
Boy, would you like to have had him to throw at Kyle Lowry tonight?
Heck of a matchup.
Tamsakan mo muna sa Sius, Mr. Dimdim. Oh, ang baka no? Last 3 paligang Raptors sa Woods Jay na ano?
Against the Clippers, he was firing on all cylinders. 34 points on the 19 and a bunch of big shots, couple of threes. Tonight just 14 points in 35 minutes. He took 7 shots. James has made his way to the exit. This one's in the books. On night 3 of the NBA restart, the Raptors defeat the Lakers convincingly, 107-92. That's the worst shooting game this season by the Lakers. As the Clippers gain a game on the Lakers in the Western Conference. As a result of their win a little bit earlier in a game you saw against the Pelicans here on ESPN. The Broad Street Bully, Kyle Lowry, had his fingerprints all over this win with 33 points, 6 dimes, and 14 rebounds. Tells me he's been hitting the ball straight on the golf course too, Malika.
Thanks, Mark. Kyle,
you
guys, the Lakers had the lead heading into the second half, but then a flip switched and you got cooking. What changed for you?
Just got aggressive. Just wanted to go out there and get the win. I mean, you know, we got a team full of scrappy guys, true professionals that go out there and want to win every single night. So, you know, coach made some adjustments. You know, we were out there doing a little bit too much talking, and, you know, we wanted to go out there and just lock in and do our job.
But after all, you guys are the defending champs. So what does a statement game like this tonight say about your intentions down here in Orlando?
I don't think it's a statement game. So it's a seeding game. You know, it's one game out of 8 for us, just to prepare us for the next couple months. And,
Napakayo sa mo, ano? Karon to silang bayad. Lunes yung takaroon.
Before the game, real quick, Nick Nurse said that he thought that the Star Spangled Banner and O Canada should be treated as one long song, and you all knelt for both. What went into that decision, and what were your emotions as you were doing that?
I mean, honestly, to think about it, you know, I was on there
almost 4
minutes, and to think that a police officer could do that for 8 minutes and 46 seconds,
Ambot
and
lang ka
the
kung
doctor said
nanapin
about 2 minutes, and I was down for 8, and I...
Daugaw ta nato doon. Lapaw, lapaw. Nagbagulang.
He waves it off, and Derek Brunson, your winner by
Brunson dog.
3. He is still for real and just every bit of the dangerous top 10 contender as you can find.
Brunson dog. Fight. Wow. You know, but let's take a look here. Nice left hand there from Derek Brunson. He was calm, he was cool, he picked his shots, and he mixed in his